Hello, my name is Angela Wirtz, and I'm a health and wellness coach. And today I wanted to introduce you to the wonderful healing powers of Bach flowers. I don't know if you heard about Bach flowers before. Edward Bach lived in England and was a doctor, and on his journey, he encountered homeopathy, but he really wanted to discover, well, to develop a very simple system that everybody can use. And he was very focused that people can heal themselves. So that's what he did. He developed flower remedies, which are made very simply, and there's no side effects whatsoever. And they're really amazing. And they helped me personally with going through grief, also in parenting, when I had my little kids, well, my teenager too. So it's really amazing what they can do. And again, no side effects. They help with stress, anxiety, and so much more with no energy and are just amazing. So let me share my screen with you because I prepared a simple presentation for you. Very, very simple, just a la Bach, because that's what he wanted, to have a very simple system. So it's 38 flowers, and the 38 flowers are really reflecting the 7 emotions. So here we go. Do you remember the 7 dwarfs? Yes, I borrowed a picture from Disney. And if Disney doesn't like it, I'll give it back. No problem with that. So our 7 emotions are fear, uncertainty, lack of interest in present circumstances, despondency and despair, loneliness, oversensitivity to influences and ideas, overcare for others. So let me go into a little bit more detail. So I have a poster at my wall, which explains the different flowers, but I will get into those in a tiny little bit. So there's rock rose, mimulus, cherry plum, aspen, and red chestnut. They're in the category of fear. And red chestnut is one of the ones I use quite a bit if I worry about my kids, or just, if you have a relative who is in the hospital and you need to stay calm and make the right decisions for that one. So it's very great for you. Aspen, the little tree, the aspen, it's shivering and shaking. And so when you just look at it, you see aspen is the perfect remedy flower for fears, but you don't know what. So you have no idea, but you have this anxiety, this worry, and you don't know where it's from. Cherry plum is the fear of doing something irrational, even hurting others. So I would recommend it for the mom who has a toddler throwing a tantrum in the store, or just if you're super overwhelmed and frustrated, and instead of just losing it, you take cherry plum, which is really great. Mimulus. Mimulus is something I took today because, yes, I'm nervous. I'm nervous about here being on a video and talking about Bach flowers, even though I feel like I should be quite confident of what I'm doing because I know I studied them quite for a long time and I know how amazing they are, but they help. And so I'm calmer than I probably usually would be. So rock rose is a very powerful one. It is actually part of the rescue remedy. A lot of people probably know the rescue remedy because that's one of the most common one which you get in health food stores. So rock rose is for terror or fright. So if you wake up and have nightmares, or if your kids wake up and have nightmares, or if something really terrible happened, it's also for trauma. And the great thing is with Bach Flowers, it's not for right now, even though we're addressing your feelings right now, but it is for the feelings also from the past. So you can release old trauma as well. The next category, the next little dwarf is uncertainty. There's serrato, sclerantus, gentian, gorse, hornbeam, and wild oat. So uncertainty. Wild oat is uncertainty over one's direction in life. So if you just, maybe in college and you really don't know what you want to do, or you are stressed in your job and don't know if you like this 9 to 5 anymore. So wild oat is something that can help you finding that certainty. Hornbeam is for tiredness at the thought of doing something. So it's kind of like the Monday morning feeling. So it's just this, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do anything, but kind of is a little pick-me-up, a little bit like peppermint oil that helps too. So gorse is losing hope before trying every possible solution. That's actually something for very supportive, I would say. And if you just have this feeling of giving up, you just don't want to do it anymore. So just take gorse and it helps you. Gentian is discouragement after setback. For example, you are applying for colleges, or you try to find a new job and you get a rejection letter. That is, you take gentian and that helps you to refocus and start anew. Sclerantis is the inability to choose between alternatives. Let's say you send out all those resumes and now you have to decide between those two options. Which job are you going to take? Which one? Sriracha is the lack of trust in one's own decision. And yes, I am guilty because often I feel like I really want to ask somebody else about, well, is this good or not? Or what do you think about that? So as I told you earlier, I believe I know what I'm doing. So it's helping you definitely with, I don't need somebody else to tell me if this is a good decision or not. Here we go into our next little dwarf, which is the lack of interest in present circumstances. That's clematis, honeysuckle, wild rose, olive, white chestnut, mustard, chestnut bud. And here we go. Here are they one after the other. Clematis. So yes, I have a teenager and she's dreaming of a big future, but she's not really doing anything for it. So if you have a teenager, that definitely would be something, but it's not only for teenagers. Honeysuckle is for somebody who lives in the past and you just can't stop thinking about, oh, it was so much better in the past. And, oh, I wish I would have done this differently. Or it definitely helps you getting a new perspective on the living in the future. Wild rose is drifting resignation, apathy. So if you know somebody who's kind of like, yeah, so it's also daydreaming, but not the same. So it's just, yeah, no, I don't want to. So it's really for the person who is not really present. So to get them back into the here and now, wild rose is definitely helping with that. Olive, well, I know that feeling, exhaustion following mental and physical effort. So if you, for example, had severe big test and you are completely exhausted, or if you went through a move, or it's for physical and mental effort, so it's for both of that. White chestnut, unwanted thoughts and mental anguish. So how many times do you wake up at night and you can't fall asleep anymore? White chestnut definitely helps you with that, big time. Mustard is for the deep gloom for no reason. Yes, well, when the sun is not shining, I feel like there is a little gloom around me, but it can be for any reason, and you just don't want to. It's not like the Monday morning feeling from Hornbeam earlier, because that is more in a different category, but it's a deep gloom and you just don't, you're not happy. Chestnut butt is the failure to learn from mistakes. So if you know somebody who makes the same mistakes again and again and again, chestnut butt definitely can help with that. Let's move on to the next category. That is despondency and despair. Lark, pine, elm, sweet chestnut, star of Bethlehem, willow, oak, crabapple. Crabapple, feeling dirty or unattractive. So do you know somebody who wants to lose weight and just feels unhappy about how they look and don't even want to look into the mirror anymore? Crabapple also is in the Rescue Remedy Cream. So for cleaning purposes, just also almost disinfecting. So that is what crabapple is for. Oak, working steadily past point of exhaustion. There's just so much to do. There's so much to do and I can't stop. No, I can't stop. I have to. And there's this and there's that. So if you know somebody who is not able to sit down, just take a breath and hold on. Oak is for that one. Willow. Oh, my life is so bad. Everything is bad. Willow, willow. So it's just for people living in self-pity and resentment. And willow definitely helps with that. Star of Bethlehem. Star of Bethlehem, I might have mentioned that earlier. Star of Bethlehem definitely helped me with going through grief, losing my parents. And it's for any kind of bad news as well. That's why it is in the rescue remedy as well. So it's one of the really important one. Sweet chestnut, extreme mental anguish when everything has been tried before. It's just helping you to not give up. It's helps you keep going. And it's really a wonderful remedy to get you out of being stuck. Overwhelmed by responsibility. If you know somebody who is the sole breadwinner, single moms, doesn't even need to be single moms who have these worries about new babies or teenagers. It's a lot of responsibility you carry around. Pine is guilt. Pine is not guilt. Pine helps with guilt. So pine is really, if you feel guilty about something, you made a mistake and you can't let go. That is what pine is for. Lark is an amazing remedy because it helps you with lack of confidence, that if you have fear of public speaking and think you can't do this, or you have an exam and you think, oh, you can't do this, or other things, it's really helping you have more confidence, and it's really amazing. So here, that is the picture of the middle of the poster, which I really think reflects what Dr. Bach really wants to teach. Treat the person, not the disease, the cause, not the effect. I don't know if you read Psychocybernetics by, I forgot his name, but, just look it up, Psychocybernetics. It's really an amazing book about somebody who, he was a plastic surgeon, and first he was a plastic surgeon, and he did operations on people and changed their nose or their outlook and made them more beautiful. And for a very small amount of people it worked, but he realized it's not the outside, it's really the inside which needs to be taken care of. So Dr. Bach addresses the mental outlook of a person and helps them heal themselves. So here we are in the category or the dwarf of loneliness. And loneliness is water violet, impatience, and heather. Just three. Loneliness. Heather is the person, you feel it, they don't have somebody to talk with, and they just talk about themselves, and they don't stop, and they know everything better, and yes, and they just want to talk about themselves, and yeah, it's about me. And Heather is really helping with that. Impatience, yes, guilty too. Not the pine kind of way, but impatience. Who doesn't need it? Everybody feels like, oh, it has to be now, right now. And impatience definitely helps you to slow down and be more centered. Water violet is for self-reliance and solitude becoming loneliness. I can do it all by myself. Not true. It's really people who rather pull themselves away. Yes, I have to point out that teenager again, who is just alone in her room and doesn't want to have anybody around, but sounds like loneliness to me, but don't tell her. Okay, there we are. The next category is over sensitivity to the influences and ideas. So Holly. Holly is actually a really special one. It often comes out or is more aware around Christmas. It's people are hateful, they are jealous, and Holly actually magically turns things into love, which is really amazing. And I think a lot of people need Holly a lot more. So yeah, because it's not that somebody got a new roof, you need one too, or, oh, I have this jacket, or I have this purse. It's really not necessary. So don't be jealous. You take Holly. Walnut is the protection from change and unwanted influences. You talking about lark again, you want to be more confident. And then you get a lark, and then all of a sudden you are more confident, but you also need to be willing to change. So walnut is helping with that. Or if you move, or if there is a change in job or school, something like that. That's walnut for. Centauri is the inability to say no. Do you know somebody who always says yes, who is always the one to sign up to volunteer and to, oh, I need help with this. Yes, sure, I'm here. Inability to say no, no to yourself as well, which is really important because you have to be able to say no, because otherwise you get overwhelmed and then you need either elm or olive, it depends which one you need because it depends on the day. Agrimony. Agrimony is mental torture behind a cheerful face. So do you know somebody, everything is perfect? Yes, no, I don't need anything. Everything is just fine. No, 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 no. But the world is breaking together. The cat just died, but they don't tell you. No, no, everything is fine. No, I can handle it. No, I can deal with that. And then they have the back pain or shoulder pain. Agrimony is for the one who always has the happy face, but in reality is not happy at all. Now we come to the overcare for others' welfare. That's a very important category as well, because let's look at them. It's rock water, beech, vine, vervain, and chicory. Rock water is self-denial, rigidity, and self-repression. Everything needs to be perfect. It has to be perfect. My house has to be perfect. My kids need to be perfect. And no, I don't need this. I don't want this. I can't have that. So it's very rigid people, which they're not really happy. So that's rock water. Beech is a lack of tolerance. How do I describe that? It's maybe for the parent who has a teenager and they want to color their hair black or purple or who knows. But beech helps you with the lack of tolerance. Vine is for dominance. So it's actually a great remedy for people who want to be leaders, who are leaders, but it makes them be more great leaders instead of overwhelming, dominant, bossy leaders, if that makes sense. Vervain is overenthusiasm. Let's say you are very protective over the environment and you can't stand it if somebody makes a mistake, but everybody makes mistakes. And this is the only way that works, and that's the only way that's possible. But vervain is for overenthusiasm. Chicory, selfish, manipulative love. It's for somebody who, how should I say that? But you probably know now I know. It's the stepmom. No, the mother-in-law, not the stepmom. Stepmom is just fine. The mother-in-law who tells the daughter-in-law everything what she has to do for her son to be perfect. No, not the son to be perfect, but for her to tell the daughter-in-law what she expects from her, how she treats the son. And, it's just sometimes a mother-in-law needs some chicory. I'm sure you understand what I tried to say. So this kind of concludes my little introduction into the Bach Flowers, the 38. Oh, that was fast. I didn't even expect that to be so fast. So what can I help you with today? I'm Angela Würz. I teach you how to take care of yourself. I actually also have an anxiety tea, which is really great. Beside the Bach Flowers, there's a little tea I offer. I offer Bach Flower consultations. I teach you yoga, facial yoga, and a lot more. So reach out. Here is my information. Just do a screenshot, and I look forward hearing from you soon. So thank you again for joining me today, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.